What if every food scrap you threw away this week was actually high-density fertilizer, unlocked with just $8 of bran? To understand how, we have to look back to rural Japan in 600 AD, when Korean monks first introduced specific fermentation techniques to local agricultural communities. Japanese farmers observed that organic material fermented with specific microbial cultures decomposes faster and retains more nutrients than material left to rot naturally. Natural putrefaction, or rotting, consumes organic matter. It shrinks the physical volume of the waste and emits foul-smelling gases. Microbial fermentation does the opposite. It retains almost the entire original volume of the material and produces a distinctly sweet, vinegary odor. Over the following centuries, farmers isolated the specific microbial strains driving this process. When Dr. Teruo Higa formally documented the system in the 1980s, he was scientifically categorizing these cultures, naming them Effective Microorganisms, or EM. Bokashi, as the method is known today, is a tested, centuries-old application of microbial ecology, designed specifically to halt the loss of nutrients in the waste stream. Traditional hot composting relies on oxidation. It requires a continuous supply of oxygen, takes 3 to 6 months to complete, and demands a minimum of 3 cubic feet of space to generate the necessary heat. This side-by-side molecular pathway compares decomposition methods. On the left, aerobic composting's primary mechanical flaw. As material heats, nutritional value volatilizes into the atmosphere. Specifically, the pile loses 30 to 50% of its total nitrogen content as ammonia gas. On the right, Bokashi's anaerobic pathway seals out oxygen, structurally locking nitrogen into stable organic acids. The process precipitously drops the pH, reaching competitive exclusion. Pathogen-attracting inputs like meat and dairy are safely processed because highly acidic conditions prevent putrefactive bacteria from surviving. This acidic environment is maintained by a specialized microbiome trio. The effective microorganisms consist primarily of lactic acid bacteria, the same family used to make kimchi and yogurt, working in tandem with photosynthetic bacteria and distinct yeast strains. The trigger for this entire system is the absence of oxygen. When you seal the container, the lactic acid bacteria are forced to multiply rapidly. They produce concentrated lactic acid that physically halts all other biological decay mechanisms. Biochemically, this pathway is pickling. The organic matter is not actively decomposing. Its current physical state and nutritional density are being preserved in a low pH liquid suspension. The primary phase of Bokashi does not yield finished planting soil. It engineers a concentrated, bioavailable pre-compost that preserves the chemical bonds of the original nutrients. The mechanical execution requires specific hardware: a sealed, completely airtight 5-gallon container equipped with a drainage tap at the base. You begin by laying down a 1-inch baseline of inoculated Bokashi bran. From there, you add daily food scraps in layers, never exceeding 1 to 2 inches deep. Over each layer, you sprinkle roughly 1 tablespoon of bran per pound of waste, pressing the material down firmly to mechanically force out all trapped oxygen. After sealing the bin for a 2-week fermentation cycle, the resulting material will exhibit clear biological indicators of success. The mixture will carry a sweet, vinegary scent, and the surface will be coated in a fine white fungal mycelium. Before the solid matter is even finished processing, the system provides its first immediate output. Every 2 to 3 days, you drain the Bokashi liquid leachate from the tap, a solution of dissolved nutrients and organic acids. This chart shows the measurable impact of that leachate. When diluted at a ratio of 1 to 100 with water, it becomes a liquid fertilizer. Applied weekly, this solution accelerates plant growth trajectories by 20 to 40% compared to untreated baselines. For those in urban environments without gardens, the undiluted leachate serves a secondary function. Poured directly down sink drains, the lactic acid bacteria outcompete existing putrefactive colonies, clearing organic buildup in household plumbing. The primary anaerobic phase simultaneously produces an immediate-use liquid fertilizer while pre-processing the solid biomass for the next stage of the soil food web. Once that 2-week fermentation is complete, the pre-compost is extremely dense, but it is not yet soil. It must be introduced into an aerobic environment, usually by burying it in a shallow trench, to finalize the decomposition. This cross-section shows the ecological response within the native soil matrix. As the acidic pre-compost is buried, beneficial bacteria, actinomycetes, and earthworms aggressively swarm the concentrated pocket of organic matter over a 4-week timeline. The biological influx is measurable. Local earthworm populations spike 3 to 5 times their normal density. Simultaneously, fungal mycelial threads spread outward, binding loose dirt into structural aggregates. This improves the soil's physical tilth, while the local pH naturally shifts back to 7.0. If you don't have access to an outdoor yard, the pre-compost can be transported to local community garden plots, which often accept clean, high-density organic amendments. The urban alternative is creating a self-contained soil factory. By mixing the finished pre-compost into a standard storage container with basic potting soil at a 10% ratio, the mixture will self-digest indoors within 4 weeks. Burying Bokashi pre-compost acts as a biological accelerant. It transforms inert dirt into a nutrient-dense environment capable of increasing local plant growth by up to 50%. The efficiency of this system means it processes materials standard systems cannot handle. Bokashi easily accepts high-calorie inputs like meat and fish scraps, dairy products, cooked pasta, and heavy cooking oils. The system does have biological limits. Large calcified bones degrade too slowly for the 2-week cycle, and excessive standing liquid will create anaerobic zones that halt fermentation. To sustain this cycle, the microbial culture needs a carrier. You can manufacture the necessary bran yourself using 3 ingredients: a carbon substrate like wheat or rice bran, a simple sugar energy source like unsulfured molasses, and the EM1 liquid inoculant. Manufacturing this functionally identical DIY bran at room temperature drops the operational cost of the system to roughly $2 per batch. For an average American household of 4, the baseline generation of organic waste is approximately 150 to 200 pounds every month. This ledger tracks the economics of replacing the nutritional value of that waste. Purchasing commercial organic fertilizer to cover a 500 square foot garden costs between $80 and $150 per growing season. By processing the waste you already produce, that expense is reduced to an annual operating cost of $2 to $12. The Bokashi system converts a household waste stream into a continuous asset, often paying for its initial setup within the first growing season. Standard 10-10-10 synthetic fertilizers rely on immediately soluble nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Because the nutrients are instantly water-soluble, they often leach through the soil, requiring constant reapplication and generating chemical runoff into local waterways. This graph compares the availability curves of synthetic versus biological inputs. While the synthetic fertilizer creates a sharp spike and rapid drop-off, the EM-amended soil exhibits a sustained trajectory. Microbes release the locked organic nutrients continuously, in closer synchronization with the plant's demand. The speed of this biological processing is a key benefit. It takes only a 4 to 6 week total turnaround to convert raw kitchen waste into bioavailable plant nutrition. By contrast, achieving a similar level of cellular breakdown through traditional cold composting requires an incubation period of 6 to 18 months. Implementing this pipeline requires no specialized commercial infrastructure. The EM1 starter culture, the bran substrates, and the airtight vessels are all available through standard retailers or local farm supply stores across the United States. Bokashi delivers the rapid results associated with synthetic fertilizers without the same ecological leaching risks, while significantly outperforming the speed of standard organic decomposition. Implementation begins in week 1. Acquire an airtight container, establish the baseline layer of bran, and begin pressing your daily food scraps tightly into the vessel to exclude the air. The first major feedback loop occurs on day 4. You extract the liquid leachate, dilute it 1 to 100, and observe the vegetative response in your plants within 7 days. By the end of week 2, the bin will be full. You seal it for its final fermentation, processing the mass before integrating the pre-compost into an aerobic soil environment. The long-term impact of running 2 rotating bins is a significant reduction in household organic waste and a decreased reliance on purchased synthetic fertilizers. Japanese farmers have been turning food scraps into premium fertilizer for 1,400 years. Unearth the History brings you the $8 fermentation heart that feeds your whole garden free. Start your first bin, stop buying fertilizer, and subscribe to keep the ancient food science growing.